Enemies of the Force. Welcome. I'm Jake.
Kyle.
Just the two of us this week, which is fine. Not a whole lot to talk about, but that's fine. We're going to talk about Solo and some lingering The Last Jedi, just whatever we feel like. So we'll get into it this week. So you want to start us off?
Well, I haven't been paying too close of attention trying to get leaks or anything like that for Solo, but I'm still shocked that we're almost 4 months away now.
Yeah, about four and a half months, yeah.
There literally hasn't been like anything at all except for blank text posters.
Yeah, that were in theaters.
Yeah. Obviously, the Lego sets leaked this week. Some of those looked pretty cool. And I don't know. Which one would you buy?
Well, I personally think the Millennium Falcon one is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be like $100 set, but it's a different looking Millennium Falcon.
It is, and it goes along with the history, or at least what little I knew about the point of that. The front end being closed off or opened up from before, because correct me if I'm wrong, but it was open so it could basically push forgive my lack of terminology, but basically like a space train, right?
Yeah, it could lock up to something else and probably that makes sense.
Push it through.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's closed off now, and the front end seems to be a little bit narrower and longer than the Falcon that we're used to. So
it kind of looks slightly more aerodynamic now, I guess you would say.
Which doesn't really matter.
No, obviously it's in space. And the Millennium Falcon in general has always blew my mind because you have the little like piloting pod thing on the far right. How you see anything is beyond me.
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation, I wouldn't think, as far as piloting, but it seems like everybody who pilots this is amazing.
It's true.
So it must work.
Yeah. So, I'm interested to see basically, obviously Lando has the ship first and you could get the gist of he wins the game and, those gold dice that are in The Last Jedi are probably what he uses to win the Falcon.
I am sure that is going to play a more significant role in here. I know we were watching that video with what was the name of the video? It
was like the Lucasfilm story group sitting down at the Star Wars show.
Yeah, and they said that the dice in The Last Jedi had a little bit more of a prominent role, but the scene had ended up getting cut.
Oh, in The Force Awakens. They were saying.
Yeah. It lined up with the scene from The Force Awakens, but ended up getting cut. So that's why when they first showed the dice, I almost felt like, was this something I thought I was kind of a Star Wars nerd, but
I thought that I was like, I don't feel anything towards those dice. Why are they such a big deal?
Right, but they felt like they should have been a big deal. I didn't catch it, so maybe this film will kind of build on that a little bit. The speeder bikes from the Imperial packs look pretty cool.
Yeah, because apparently from the Legos, you can surmise that there's going to be new types of troopers. Again, every new Star Wars film, you have new troopers.
Yeah,
so
looks like, I don't even know.
Kind of like a there's like a camouflage and a cape on that one guy.
Yeah. So I think the Lego sets look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've always wanted the old Falcon one as well, but I could never justify spending the money on it. So I'm sure this one will be no different.
Yeah. It definitely looks cool. And just basically, that's the thing about Solo. I don't think anybody has really high expectations.
Yeah. I'm 50-50 on it. I think Rogue One built it up for me that, I was always a little bit leery how they could go kind of out on their own and how that was going to work into it, but Rogue One really worked well for me.
Yeah. And it ended up basically kind of being like episode 3.5 in a way. So this is in that same exact time era, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure exactly what time frame we're going to be in. If this is going to like lead directly into that as well,
Yeah.
or if it's going to be a little bit earlier. I'm not really.
I would
sure.
say earlier because I don't think like Jabba the Hutt and stuff is really going to factor in this movie.
That's true. I guess even the Lego leaks we didn't see.
No,
I guess I was just assuming there was going to be some Jabba.
No Boba Fett either, from what you can see. So
Right.
obviously, you could probably get crazy and figure out the plot just from these Legos, but it is what it is. They're Legos, people, so
right.
They look cool. But and then obviously the Lego packaging kind of confirmed I think this photo from Solo leaked like the week before or something.
Yeah.
It was originally, I think, leaked from some weird Russian site, but then they finally had like a high-res American version of it. Because the title was in like crazy Russian.
Well, Chewbacca looks as young as ever.
Yeah, but he
about
does
the same.
have a different bandolier. Those look like a lot bigger,
They're little.
like artillery shell-looking things. So.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. On one of those sets where they showed Chewbacca, he does not have a bowcaster. He has what looks more like a standard rifle.
Interesting.
I forgot about that. There he is.
Yeah.
So it looks whether that's just the Lego set or that's legitimate.
Is that on the Falcon set?
Yes.
Because that seems like the one to get. You get Han, Chewie, Lando, and then the random
The-
Kira.
Yep, the droids.
Yeah, and the droids. Which, Lando looks sweet. He's rocking his cape.
Got the cape, and are those suspenders? I don't know.
Yeah.
They kind of look like suspenders.
Sideburns and mustache. He's still going to look like it's...
Actually, the Lego almost looks like a mix between a pimp and a vampire to me. But
Vampire pimp.
Vampire pimp.
Yeah. It's I don't know. That Lego Chewbacca actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
He looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited for Chewie to actually hopefully have something to do in this movie. That was my disappointment with The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, honestly. Besides shooting Kylo at the end, he did nothing that entire movie. He got injured, and Han literally took the gun from Chewie the whole movie and like shot it for him. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Why can't Chewie shoot that himself?
That makes no sense. But
yeah,
and even in The Last Jedi, I mean, it seemed like everything he did was off screen.
Yeah,
like he dropped Rey off, and assuming he went and did his own thing.
Yeah. Saved the day.
Obviously picked her back up and kind of saved the day to bring her back, but. Seemed like most of what he did was off screen.
Yeah, roasted porgs.
Roasted some porgs.
Kicked the door in on Luke, and which was semi comedic value a little bit. But, so.
Oh well.
Yeah, maybe
theoretically, I'm still not sure. Do you think we're going to see how Chewbacca and Han meet, or?
I believe so. Yeah, I think will start basically like his life debt to Han. Probably.
Is that still canon?
I think so, because there was a book called...
wasn't it called Life Debt?
Called Life Debt that just came out not too long ago, which was Han in his is right before The Force Awakens. So basically, Han finally gives back that life debt, and he goes and, I think he frees a bunch of Wookiees or something. He goes to Kashyyyk. So then basically... the time Force Awakens is around, Chewie doesn't have to hang out anymore, but he's still, obviously, he's friends, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm interested to see, I think as long as the guy who plays Han Solo does a good job is the key.
That's going to be a hard role to play, I think.
Yes.
Because everything about Han Solo and Harrison Ford playing Han Solo felt so natural,
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to disconnect the two in my mind, so... It'll be real challenging for him. I don't even remember his name, to be honest with you.
I think it's Alden Ehrenreich.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's difficult. It's no Harrison Ford, it's like not. A sweet-sounding name. See, and then I'm interested to see, do you think he's going to be doing kind of a Harrison Ford impersonation, or do you think he's going to do
I think if he tries to do that, it will go poorly.
Yeah.
I think if he tries to give him his own thing, maybe with a couple throwback things that are clearly Harrison-esque, I don't know. I think he's going to have a real hard time if he tries to just be the Harrison Ford Han Solo.
Yeah.
So
because you could kind of see it kind of like James Bond. Not everyone acted exactly like Sean Connery and Roger Moore. Completely different, even though they were playing the same exact person. So.
Absolutely.
And then obviously James Bond now, nothing like the old ones.
No,
so.
not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
So. So. I personally, I'm excited. I know a lot of people are worried, and a lot of people are reading into the fact that we haven't seen a lot because they're worried about it.
I don't think they were worried about it. No, I think they wouldn't put out a product unless it's up to a certain standard.
Yeah, so. I think both parties involved would not. Lucasfilm or Disney.
No. I think if there were really bad problems, then they would push back the release date.
Yeah, so they already did it once, right? Rogue One?
Yeah. Well,
not necessarily because there was problems, but it got pushed back. Then it was supposed to be a May release as well, if I remember right.
That was The Last Jedi. Originally, it was going to be May, and then they moved it back.
That's right.
So
that's my bad.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I think Episode 9 is back to December now because originally that was going to come out in May. So then we're going to have a lull of like a year and a half between Star Wars movies
after feel like
Solo.
A drought now.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this week they said they were picking up just a couple random shots on Solo, which I don't think is major reshoots. They probably just wanted to add a couple things.
I wonder if they're going to add something that kind of plays in with what they're going to change with Leia's story in Episode 9. I mean, are they going to have something that foreshadows that?
I don't know.
It's random, but
yeah, I don't know.
When do you think we're going to get the first trailer?
I think
or first anything that's not a leak.
My money is actually the Super Bowl.
How far away are we? This
first
2.5
Yeah,
weeks?
2.5 weeks. I feel like since this movie, the general audience honestly has no idea this movie's coming out. So I think that is the time that you can tell the most people, hey, check this out.
Right.
And you kind of get that.
And The Last Jedi should have really, ramped down by then. So they shouldn't be stepping on toes. But there's going to be a lot of toes to step on in the Disney wheelhouse in the next, 3 months? A lot of stuff coming out. So,
and I think a lot of people are going to be confused because obviously the Star Wars timeline, obviously for people that follow it are not confused, but the general audience, they're going to be like, so wait, now this is back in time? What's going on now? And the timeline's jumping everywhere. Wait, that's Han Solo? I thought he died.
Right? Yeah.
So
Do you think we're going to get a full trailer, or are they just going to tease it?
I think it'll be a full.
It'll be. If they wait until the Super Bowl, you can't waste that with. No. You're going to have to put it all out there. So.
Yeah, I think they'll do it big, or that just seems like the biggest, or it'll just be a random time like all the other Star Wars trailers.
Well, what's the next big Disney movie coming out?
Black Panther. That's in February.
True.
So they could
tease it and then
release the full one just like a couple weeks later.
How long before The Last Jedi or Force Awakens did they actually release the merchandise for it? I mean, it was a significant amount of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, Force Awakens, that stuff was out by like September. And then this year with The Last Jedi, they had it out, I think October, maybe?
Well, seeing these Lego sets now, and I had gone out to the stores, 3 or 4 days after Christmas and all of that. All the Star Wars Legos were on clearance, and it seems like they're making way.
Definitely.
To have it cleared off for some of this new stuff to come in. So
yeah, my guess is we'll see this stuff at the stores like March or April. So
give them a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, which I feel like Star Wars really made money with the December release because then they're like, ooh, look at this Star Wars stuff for Christmas. So right. I don't know how they'll do releasing merchandise kind of randomly in the spring. Easter gift, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. Easter
Get out of school gift? Wars. I don't know. But I think, and then the other weird thing about the release of Solo is the Avengers comes out beginning of May. They just, this week, moved Deadpool 2. Yeah, I butchered that title. Deadpool 2 up a week before Solo comes out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
So then Solo comes out the week after. But I think, the people that want to see Deadpool 2, I can't say that. Why can't I say that? Deadpool 2 will all be out that opening weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see it as people just slowly seeing it.
Do we know what the Han Solo movie is going to be rated?
No.
I mean, clearly the audience for Deadpool 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Is going to be
Different.
It's rated R.
Yeah, no,
so you're not going to have any children. I don't know if this is PG-13, like Rogue One.
I think it'll have dark moments, kind of like Rogue One. And then the other dicey thing is that people don't realize is that Solo was a smuggler for drugs. He was a spice smuggler. So that's another
spice.
Yeah, spice. That was another thing that no one really talks about. Is he's kind of a drug smuggler.
That's true. I guess
so.
I never really questioned what it was he was smuggling. I just assumed it could be anything.
He's salt and pepper, those kind of spices.
Yeah.
So obviously, but all Star Wars movies, they're aiming towards general movie audience. Yeah. You're never going to see an R-rated Star Wars movie.
No, and I think I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't think there really needs to be.
I think you can do that with games. Have a little more crazy with games and stuff. So, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but so I'm interested to see where it falls in, especially busy May release now. So, but yeah, they definitely don't. They obviously don't have a final cut of the movie yet.
If they just finish shooting some other scenes.
Yeah. And then I guess the other random thing is John Williams is writing a theme for Solo. Not just the whole score, but just a single theme.
Now, he didn't do a single thing in Rogue One, correct?
No, he didn't.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know that I really noticed, but it definitely didn't feel the same.
No.
I wouldn't say I explicitly noticed it, but the tone, the overall tone of the music in the movie.
I feel like the music for Rogue One would have been better, but he at the last minute was brought in and only had about 2 weeks to write the score for a movie, which I can't do that.
I don't know how you do that. No.
I know. I'm sure you have like a team of people that work under you that help you compose and stuff, but still, I'm not a music genius at all by all means.
No, I'm not either.
But yeah, that's about it for Solo. Anything else?
I'm just waiting for something.
Just waiting, for something.
I have high hopes, and
I think a long time ago when we were doing the Ways of the but when we were recording the Ways of the Force before, weren't we saying the same thing about Rogue One?
Yeah.
We're like, where is the Rogue One stuff?
What is this going to be?
We waited forever for a trailer,
and I don't know, was there?
But that obviously wasn't 5 months before it was released. I think we at least had something in the middle of the summer.
That was almost right after, a couple months after The Force Awakens. So, yeah, that drought that's going to come after Solo is going to be...
That'll be a big one.
It's going to be hurting.
Yeah. So, but they will have a new...
Well, maybe a new video game to fill the time after that?
New animated show, too, because Rebels this is the last season, so it's ending. So I'm guessing they're going to announce a new animated show, which I'm guessing they would put it with the new movie timeline. Don't ask me where they would go with it, but
there's nowhere to stick it in between.
Mm-mm.
Unless it's going to take place in like a week or
unless they debut it after Episode 9 and it's fills in story after that about Rey building a Jedi Academy or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an idea.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. So
I still have to catch up on Rebels. So
it's worth it. Keeps you thirsty for Star Wars.
Hey, it's got Darth Maul, right? What more do you need?
Yeah. So, but that's about it for Solo. Not much to talk about there.
No.
We're waiting patiently.
Something.
So I guess moving on to movie, everyone's obviously still talking about The Last Jedi. Kind of go into some of the, obviously every week they're releasing little tidbits of just random useless knowledge about The Last Jedi, it seems. Just random facts about production and stuff.
Some of the little Easter eggs that were thrown in, a lot of which I didn't realize. Some of them I did.
Yeah, there's obviously connections to. There was a connection to Rogue One.
Yeah,
the way in the files they were looking for a hyperspace tracker, and they ended up developing it. And a bunch of stuff that ties into books and whatnot. So
obviously that stuff I don't read. I probably should. I wish I had the time to do it because a lot of these books sound like they really make the new trilogy. I don't know if I want to say more interesting, but more involved. A lot of the backstory for some of these new characters is being really laid out well in the books. And
Because, yeah, apparently there was a Phasma book that came out. You saw nothing of Phasma, but she gets her own book, so.
Why not?
So.
Poe's got his own book.
No, he's got his own comic series.
Or his own comics,
which is weird. I started reading the comic series.
Did you?
And it was bizarre. It's not what you'd expect. There's very little space battles. They end up finding this giant, like, weird egg. I don't know. It's really weird.
Interesting.
Wasn't into it, but yeah.
I'm guessing we're probably not the target audience for that, though, or are we?
Kind of. I don't know. Not a lot. Yeah, I would say comics. Yeah, younger people read them, but obviously a lot of older fans are still into comics too, because they're expensive. It's not like the olden days where they're like 25 cents. Now it's like $3 or $4.
Almost the price of a used book or something.
Yeah. So and then obviously books are our age target audience
absolutely.
And older. So, but yeah, with all the random tidbits, I think we'll have a pretty good Blu-ray come out for The Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's true. There's probably, just from what we've seen from that interview video.
Yeah.
It seems like there will be a lot to dive into. Maybe a lot that was even cut out for deleted scenes that might add more to the movie.
Yeah, because what I heard is that they cut out about a half an hour of The Last Jedi. Because it was long, but obviously it sounded like any longer, and I don't think it would have worked. So
yeah, I always hear that before this movie came out, and they had talked about the length of it, and people were worried or they were complaining about a long movie, and I always feel the opposite.
Yeah,
usually, if I go to a big movie and it's done already, there's So I'm fine with a longer movie, but.
Yeah, you're talking to people that can sit down and watch the Lord of the Rings extended editions, things like that. I've seen, I think I've sat down and watched like Gods and Generals, a 4-hour Civil War movie or something,
If you can involve me with a good story for 3-4 hours, I'm all for it.
Yeah, as long as it's good, that's the thing.
Yep.
So, but I think the Blu-ray will have hopefully a really good, just like making documentary. That's what I'm excited for.
Honestly, that might be my most exciting part about Canto Bight.
Yeah.
It's not the scene, or not the scene, but the story itself. But I want to see all the creatures that they made.
Obviously, there was a lot of extras in that scene, so a lot of aliens you only saw for like a second.
Right.
So I don't know.
That part I'm really excited about. I think there's a lot to dive into.
Yeah.
A lot of deleted scenes that might be in there.
And maybe we'll get a commentary.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I wonder if Ryan will
bet
talk about it.
Yeah. I bet he'll do it because he's kind of a big movie nerd. So I think he likes making all this behind the scenes stuff. Where The Force Awakens, it was just like, you got your standard making documentary. But I felt like it could have been a little better.
Well, and that's what, we're talking about this next space between Solo and Episode 9 is going to feel like such a drought, but thinking back about how they were, writing this movie as The Force Awakens was being shot, it seems like there's no time.
Oh yeah.
Looking at it from the opposite direction.
Yeah, for the production people, they're literally going right into the next movie. They're reusing all the props, and the studio is basically filled with Star Wars movies. So. Yeah, and this is the first Star Wars movie that's ever going to be released on 4K.
That's true. Which reminds me, are we going to get a full set ever?
I don't know.
I mean a legitimate re-release of the original trilogies, and
I think they're going to slowly re-release them all in 4K now. Yeah. Because now that Disney owns 20th Century, they own the distributing rights to the original Star Wars movie,
and pretty much half of the world. But
so yeah, I don't think they're gonna put out the originals though.
You don't?
Mm-hmm. I think they're gonna keep them the special editions.
See, that would have made me real happy. I'm surprised if they wouldn't do both of them again.
Oh yeah,
because people
double dip on that. Yeah. Well, I know. That's the thing. That sucks. Because, I have the ones on DVD that's just like a copy of the Laserdisc.
Right.
So it's not great quality.
No.
It's grainy. There's a weird green line on the side.
Yeah.
Sound is, it's not the Star Wars sound.
Right. Right.
that you're used to. Yeah, if you played it through surround sound, you probably wouldn't even notice, rather than just playing out your normal TV. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a dream.
Yeah,
Disney, go ahead and do it, please.
Yeah, because do you have a 4K player?
I do not.
But you have a 4K,
I have a 4K
TV now.
TV, so I can stream 4K. But
yeah, I don't know how much the 4K Blu-rays even are.
I don't think they're...
Or I don't even know what they call them. 4K Ultra HD DVD
I think
things?
it's just
or...
4K Blu-ray. I think it's still... They're
Yeah.
still called Blu-ray, but... I don't know that the actual discs themselves are that expensive, but I haven't personally found a reason to really justify buying a new player, a new...
Yeah. I've finally just now been getting Blu-rays, so...
Yeah.
I still have a box TV, so, you know.
True.
It took me, it was only like 2 years ago I got an HD
Finally got
TV.
an HD. Yeah.
So, you know, you're talking about a slow person. But now I am getting them when it's cheaper, though.
See, I'll probably wait for the next generation of video game consoles until I finally fully buy into 4K for a player. So, right now, what I've got is working.
Well, the PlayStation is full. Yeah, that's 4K, doesn't it?
The Plus.
No.
Or the Pro, sorry. The PlayStation 4 Pro.
Got it. You just have the normal one.
I just have the normal one.
Got it.
Believe me, I really tried to force myself into talking myself into buying one, and I still couldn't justify it. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't have time to play video games like that anymore. Obviously, you know.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you know.
If you ever hear a crying baby in this video,
that's
what he's talking about.
That's me. So, you know, soon, you know, I have this man cave that I don't get to use because I got to help take care of the baby, which is fine.
It's all right.
You know.
We got once a week.
Once a week, hang out, you know, rock out. Yeah,
you know.
Of course. So, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's what's coming up, right? The next thing is going to be the Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray release.
It's rumored to come out end of March.
Yeah, they seem to be coming out really fast.
Yeah, and I'm sure digitally it'll be released slightly sooner. It's usually like a week or two
I guess
sooner.
They did that last week to make you buy both versions.
Yeah, that's smart.
It is. Nobody said that they weren't going to make money. So.
No. See, I can't just buy a digital only. I can't handle that.
Especially not when they come with a digital copy.
Yeah, well, I know. You might as well get the physical. And it's nice because you get a Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy all in one. Yeah. And then the 4K, you get the 4K normal Blu-ray and digital.
And, of course, I'm sure again this year we're going to have to choose from the different special editions that all get released at different places.
Well, yeah. Did you see them?
Yeah, I saw the Best Buy's cover art looked the coolest to me, I think, with the...
Yeah. The Last Jedi, what the Target comes with a book? Or is it just like a book of pictures?
Yeah, it looks like maybe some artwork.
Yeah. There's no details because all that was leaked were just these pictures.
Pictures of the ads, it looks like. We got a Best Buy one and a Target one and a Target 4 or a Best Buy 4K.
Yeah. And Best Buy usually has the best covers and they have like the steel.
Yeah, they usually got steel books, don't they?
But it's more expensive there.
Yeah. And of course, eventually you're going to have to go back and rebuy the package set, right? When the trilogy comes out.
Yeah. No, I've been thinking about getting at least the prequels on Blu-ray so far because I don't know. I have them on like full screen DVD and they don't look that great.
I've got the when they re-released all of them, the 6-pack and that blue packaging. I've got that.
Yeah.
And actually, I still haven't made it through all the special features for all of those. Because that six pack had a lot.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm sure. Because the Episode 1 documentary is actually the best Star Wars documentary made. I think
a lot of those prequel special featers
were really good. Yeah, because
that's what George loved, right?
Yeah. I mean, so
the process and the
it was pretty funny watching the Episode 1 documentary because he's like, I think Jar Jar Binks is going to be a great idea. And then everyone around him, you can tell, or they're like, yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, George.
But we'll support you.
Right.
This crazy passion project. Apparently, the rumor is that the first cut of Episode 1 was about 4 hours long.
Really?
Yeah.
how much more pod racing was in it.
No, I'm sure. Like, how much random stuff did they throw in
I
there?
don't know if it was 4 hours more and it was filled with more Qui-Gon and Darth Maul.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I'm all for it, yeah.
But if it's, a lot of people just sitting around the Senate, possibly more pod racing is long. As a kid, it didn't seem that long. But when you watch it now, you're like, wow, this is like a half an hour.
This is, yeah, it really is. And
it's still cool.
I still like my prequels. I don't care.
No.
I still like them.
I do. I agree. Yeah. I say Episode 2 is not the best Star Wars movie, but I still enjoy it a lot.
Right. Just because it's not the best Star Wars movie, or even the worst Star Wars movie, doesn't mean it's anywhere near the bottom of the movie field.
So yeah, I like my Obi-Wan Kenobi. So
yeah, those are the characters that I personally grew up with.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
I'm okay with it.
But yeah, that's about it for this week.
Yeah. We need more Star Wars news, man.
Yeah, I think, once the Solo stuff starts heating up, soon we're going to talk about a trailer.
We will. And honestly, I'm excited to be able to buy the Blu-ray, sit at home, and really watch The Last Jedi again.
Yeah.
Because I'm still going back and forth about how I actually feel about it, and I probably will until Episode 9 comes out.
Oh, yeah, because honestly, when we came out at the first time, I'm like...
I was just confused. Like, I was conflicted.
Yeah. I'm just like,
because so much of it made me smile and made me excited, and then when it was done, I was like, wait.
Yeah. That's why...
What just happened?
Yeah, that's why I've heard, like, some people say it might not be the best Star Wars movie, but it has some of the best moments in Star Wars.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely, I would agree with that.
So there's a lot of just like really great moments. So
there are great moments. There's just some beautiful scenes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll look into that and keep waiting for Solo, and that's about it for this week.
There's some more stuff.
Yep.
We'll talk about it.
Yep. All right. But yeah, that was it for the Ways of the Force this week. Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, this time.
Yeah.
No arguments? I don't think.
No
arguments.
We didn't argue. All right. It's the Ways of the Force. I'm Jake.
I'm Kyle.
May the Force be with you.
And also with you.
All right.